Hey, what's going on guys? It's TheBigFishPlayz and welcome back to another Top Drives video. Look, I know it's been months since I've been posting, just been so much going on, but I'm back for now and I would like to talk a little bit about this whole Oddities challenge series that's going on at the moment. It's a little bit confusing. It's just, it's really odd, which the name would suggest, but I don't know how I feel about this whole structure. So that's what I want to talk about today. And, you know, if any point you disagree with anything I say, well, sucks to be you. I'm kidding. Also, you can just leave a comment down below and love to have a discussion about, you know, why you think what you think. And yeah, just figure out what is going on with this Oddities series in Top Drives. Alright, so the first thing is this Oddities series is based around April Fools, so everything's a bit of a joke. So the 4 cars that you can win are the Fiat Panda Hawaii edition, which is essentially this yellow Fiat Panda with a red door, and the door, you can literally see the animation of it. It's just flapping around as it drives, which is kind of funny, but honestly well animated, so props to Hutch for that. Then we got the Vauxhall Adam C, which is literally a car with a big wind-up key, like those old toys that no one uses anymore. So that's a little funny as well. Then we've got the Skoda Fabia RS 2000, which is like a convertible Skoda. Nothing too funny about it, but you know, looks like a pretty good car if I'm honest. And the MRA I've seen on it in the challenge is kind of crazy, so that'll be a very useful car to get our hands on. And the last car is the Porsche 911 Patina paint to sample, which is like semi-rusted looking Porsche 911. Bit weird. But again, it's an oddity. That's the whole point of the series. So yes, that's the basis of this whole challenge series. It's just being a little weird, trying to win some weird cars. So here we are. So the first thing to note is the Oddities events. So if I go to my events, it's gonna have to collect my rewards from yesterday, but that's okay. Anyway, so the first thing with the events is there's 4 different types. And it looks like there's going to be 4 of each. So the first one is blue token, which are known as indecisive bonus points. So if you've seen sometimes in an event, there's like a specific requirement will give you, say, you know, 1.2 times points for that race. That basically indecisive means throughout the course of the event, that's going to keep changing, which I think is a good idea. It doesn't really impact it too much. So that's probably one of the minor, less important sort of changes you're going to notice in the events. And I doubt that's going to influence results too much. But anyway, that's one thing. Next is red token events, which are criteria track set mismatch, which essentially means, well, like this event that just finished, it was, you know, all snow, but the requirement was 4-wheel drive hatchbacks. So that was a bit odd. So it was really optimizing handling in your deck. Traction control and ABS were quite a big help. The ultra rare section, so things like that. It gets you thinking, but it's also annoying because you're not really relying on your own Top Drives knowledge anymore. For that, I just turned to Top Drives records and I was looking at, you know, the database times of different cars on different tracks, so, and just comparing which one was the best overall and then just putting that in my deck. So there was not too much skill in that, so I didn't really like that personally. That was just, you know, who had the most time to go filtering through all the cars to figure out which one's best on which track set, etc. So that was, yeah, not a big fan of that personally. The next one, which we haven't seen yet, is the green token events, which I know is the unhinged criteria, which is crazy criteria combo. So we could see all kinds of weird things, you know, lumped together. We haven't seen that yet, but I can imagine what sort of crazy things they're going to go by. But honestly, I'm just worried for, you know, the more early stage players, how they're going to be able to, you know, build a deck that's going to fit these requirements when you have so few cars, and if they're going to go crazy with them, I mean, what are you supposed to do? So yeah, we'll have to look at that and revisit that soon. And then the final type is the yellow token events, which are shifting track sets. This one is weird, like really weird. The track sets are going to keep changing during the event. So you never know exactly what tracks you're going to be playing on. So this kind of sounds like some kind of weird endurance event almost, because it's not just one event with, one deck you make and you stick with it for the, 2 to 3 days, but rather this could be changing every few hours. You have to keep checking. Fortunately they added that new info page. You can always see the track sets before you start playing an event. So you're going to have to keep checking that, and every time it changes it says, I need to go make a new deck. So that's going to be more annoying rather than anything. But I guess that's going to catch out people who, don't check that. So, but again, if people are busy with their days, they're not going to have time to keep checking this and keep doing it. So I feel like that yellow one's going to get a bit neglected because it's just more annoying rather than cool, in my opinion. But again, I'm being a little harsh here, but this is just, from an active Top Tribes player, this is my perspective, and I'm sure it's not going to be a unique perspective. Okay, so those blue token, red token, green token, yellow token events, they're called that because, as you can see on my screen, they award these, tokens. So in this case, this is the Oddities red token, and essentially you're going to need a certain number of each of them to, as you can see on my screen, looks like you need 1,000 of them from 4 events. As you can see, I got 310 from not doing particularly well in this event, so it should be pretty easy to achieve that maximum score of 1,000 to complete the hardest objective for that. So the hardest objective for each one is to get 1,000 of each color of token, which will award you the maximum number of those medals. That's what they're called, Oddities medals. And these medals are what you get from completing the objectives. But to complete these specific objectives, well, one particular type of challenge is collecting tokens from the events. So you need 1,000 of each, which I think should be fairly easy to do as long as you play the events. So once you get 1,000 of these tokens, then you get the maximum number of medals, and then these medals, which are the little yellow ones, they are what you're going to need to be able to claim those cars in the end. So everything centers around gaining different forms of currency, mainly the tokens from the events, and then these are going to help you complete objectives. There's other things like watching ads, collecting cars, upgrading cars, fusing cars. All of these are going to help you complete objectives, which give you medals to claim the all 4 of the different cool variants. And there should be more than 1,000 available, so you don't have to complete all of them, but you have to complete almost all of them. So just keep that in mind. And then the other thing, as you would have seen on my screen, there's the Oddities coins. And these coins, basically, you can collect from these events. And what you're going to do with them is head over to the shop. Here we go. And with these coins, you can exchange them for rewards. So 245,000 for an epic, 75k for carbon fiber, 37.5 for an ultra rare, 15,000 for ceramic, and 7,500 for super rare. Not the greatest, exchanges I've ever seen, but there you go. Yeah. So that's another aspect of it. I don't know how to feel about that. Doesn't seem super rewarding, but just something else to try and earn, I guess. Okay, so in addition, so if I go back to these objectives, here we go. So Oddities, for example, see, I've collected 250 Oddities red tokens. That gives me 10 medals. And if you go to the highest, there you go, 1,000 of each of the tokens from the events. Then another place you can get is from these challenges. For example, feeling a bit rusty is one of them. Mission challenges, I'll get back to that in a second. Then there's also playing event matches, buying packs, collecting cars from any rarity, starting fusing cars, winning event matches, playing championship matches, which are those single player matches, club event, so you have to play clubs as well. That's going to be a bit tedious for some people, but what's going to be even more tedious is watching 150 ads over the next month. Look, if you just do it religiously every day, I think you need something like 5 a day to do it. If you just do it and just do it in the background, while you're eating dinner, cooking dinner, well, just in the background while you're working or something like that, just press the ads, let them run. That's something really simple to get done. The ads doesn't exactly, so the ads, the club event matches, championship matches, winning event matches. They all don't seem to award medals, so I guess they're not such a big deal. But they can help you get the prizes, as you can see here, like the carbon fibers, the guaranteed epics. So if you want those, I think you're going to have to do those. So yeah, just something to consider. Again, it's kind of tedious, which is what I've been saying about this whole Oddities series. I think it's just tedious more than anything. Well, I guess it's good they're trying to explore different sort of formats. I just don't think this is the best way to do it. For people who, are working and only log on a few times a day, this is not going to be something they're going to be able to engage with very well, just purely because of the time element here. People can't afford this sort of time in their day-to-day life. Anyway, so that's about it. It's earn tokens from events. And then let me show you. Go to challenges. These are the mission challenges, which are just very basic 3 challenges a day. It's nothing too crazy, as you can see here. You just kind of... let me swap this out real quick. Yeah, you kind of just chuck your cars in. They do things. And then that's it. You just kind of... I don't even know if this is going to win. Oh yeah, and the weird animations, forgot to mention. The cars spin or drive backwards or get from fat to thin. It's really weird animations. Those are cool. I guess in line with the theme. So yeah, those are the mission challenges that you can complete for the objectives as well. And then yeah, get all those medals from the objectives. Claim your Oddities prizes, as you can see here. For example, this one was 200. Vauxhall is 400. Skoda is 650. Porsche is 1,000. So that's what those medals are for. And the objectives, and then the coins for the extra bonus rewards. So that's about it. I feel like all the different terms with the tokens, medals, coins, it's a bit confusing when you read the patch notes where they announce this series. So I hope I've cleared that up a little bit for people who don't understand. But all in all, Top Drive's Oddities, what do we think? Is it novel or is it just annoying? What do we think? Let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video, this little discussion about what's going on. If you have, please hit that like button and consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I upload. I know it's been a little sparse lately, but I'm doing my best to work around my new schedule and try and get some more regular uploads for you guys, because you seem to engage well when I do. And I'd love to hear more from you guys about what you think about the game. And also, what more do you want me to talk about? If you haven't seen already, I've got my 3-part beginner's guide series, plus also my video on how to win a tri-series prize car, and the mentality and the strategy behind that to hopefully help you win your first one soon as well. Otherwise, yeah, my beginner's guide series, they're quite popular, and I've received very good feedback about introducing new players to the basics of the game, mechanics, money, and all these things, and really important mistakes to avoid that I made myself, which put me months back from progressing. So all these things, if you want to avoid them, please consider checking out these videos. They're linked in the description below, and I really hope they're able to help you develop your game further. Otherwise, yeah, let me know what sort of videos you guys want me to make. I'm a little lost at the moment. I wanted to talk as well to the Top Drive's Discord community, figure out what sort of videos people might be interested in. Are you interested in this sort of discussion video? I'm going to make daily event videos discussing my decks and strategies for each event and challenge, things like that. Yes, let me know what you guys want exactly. Otherwise, and do you want me to do a garage review? I haven't done it before. I've just shown, bits and pieces of my garage before, but never gone into it in detail. So if that's something you want to see, let me know, and I'll be more than willing to do that. Otherwise, yeah, that's about it for this video. Top Drive Oddities. Hit or miss? Not sure, honestly. Yeah. Alright, well that's it for me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm going to catch you in the next video. Goodbye.